Welcome to Checkin Accounts, where we freely talk about various topics that interest us. We invite you to sit back and listen in. Hopefully, enjoy what we have to say. Welcome, guys.
Guys,
Hey, boys. Yeah.
so since the last podcast,
Yes.
it was the draft that we were talking about, right? Montreal.
exactly.
We were talking about Montreal finishing.
Yep.
Well, staying.
Hopefully they were
fifth.
going to get the first.
No,
Ended up with the fifth.
nobody moved on that draft.
Nobody moved, huh? It was.
Yeah.
That was it.
The playoffs. Now they're round 3, and there's one Canadian team left. The Oilers. I called the Oilers to make it to the finals before the playoffs started, but I didn't think they were gonna get past round 2.
You didn't think the Leafs were going to make it?
Actually,
No. What did you think of the Leafs?
No, wait.
Oh,
How did I ever think the Leafs were going to make it?
I thought the Leafs were gonna win the round 1, but I wasn't surprised that they fucking pulled another stupidity.
I thought the Leafs were going to beat the Bruins. I was
too.
scared, but I saw the lack of performance from some players. When Matthews got hurt and Marner, fighting, and
Marner is a
Nylander
little
coming
baby.
in, and now there's too many babies. There's too many babies on the team, and they cost too much.
Unfortunately, a coach that shouldn't have gotten fired got fired because I think
Hey,
he's
he
a
got
good coach.
hired.
He got hired.
He got hired.
Yeah.
He got rehired.
Marsha, what did he say? He says, we really believed in us and ourselves.
Yeah, he said that.
We really believed in ourselves.
Believed.
He killed me. He killed me. I was like,
Perfect.
what a
We
jerk,
really
man.
believed.
I believe in myself.
Hey,
He
man.
said that
Yeah.
after
We
they
really
won.
believe in ourselves, and that's why we get the job done.
He's such a rat.
What a jerk,
He's
man.
such a rat.
But hey, you know what? He was very impressive in both series, if you ask.
Yeah, I was happy they went through, but then they got killed, man, from Florida.
Yeah.
Florida was did a repeat from last year. They sent a message.
Well,
That-
last year they did well. Do you think they're gonna beat the Rangers? Because I'd like to see Rangers Edmonton, but
they
Florida-
Be such a creep.
they came out strong. I didn't think they were gonna come out strong like they did, but I expected Kachuk to play because he has been playing for the 2 first rounds. He's been, and Bobrovsky has been present. He's been standing on his head. He's playing like a playoff goaltender should be. And if there is one job that is so important, is goaltending in the playoffs. There's nothing more important, and you should depend on your. Like, I'll talk about my Bruins. Like, Jeremy Swayman. He had an exceptional year.
I love that goaltending tandem from the Bruins. I think it's phenomenal.
Between Allmark and
You don't need
yeah.
a super. They have
Yeah.
2 like
it's a
solid
new-
goaltenders,
it's a
and
new-
they
yeah.
split the tandem throughout the whole year, and one gets hot, one gets cold. They put the other. So you have a 1A and a 1B. You don't have like a superstar goalie, and then you have a back. I love that system they have. The
I
Bruins.
think we're gonna see more and more of that in hockey.
Well, we've been seeing it more, but
We're
the
seeing more
Bruins-
60-40%.
The Bruins, you actually see it more because they have actually 2 solid goaltenders. They're not, and I don't even think they cost them much on the salary cap, huh?
No, it won't. But they won't be able to both stay on.
Eventually,
Yeah.
but the goal was to eventually try to win a cup before
Yeah.
they had to renegotiate a contract, right?
Right.
Maybe Toronto might get a goal in that case.
Yeah, keep trying.
It's ridiculous.
Toronto's problem is they're too top heavy. They don't have any goaltending and they don't have any defense.
Sounds like Edmonton. Edmonton had
But
that problem too.
Edmonton put some defense.
Yeah.
And they added some more depth on their second
been
and third
building.
lines.
been building.
They brought in Perry. They have Kane. And
You
then
need that veteran.
Huh?
That
and they have Draisaitl and that don't usually play with McDavid. You put them
Should've
on
won
2
for
lines, huh?
Could have won for Jake Allen. They needed him for.
great. He's probably the best backup goalie there is in the league right now.
He's a
Best
steady,
second tier.
like,
He's a good. He knows his role.
Yeah.
Stays back there, plays his 30-40% of the season, and he's pretty solid. He's
They got Henrique, right, instead of really focusing on their D and their goaltending, and I think personally Oilers might have screwed up on that.
We'll see. They make it to the finals. I heard a crazy stat that Montreal is still the only Canadian team that has more playoff wins since 2009 than any other Canadian team.
Crazy.
And they haven't
More
missed
than any.
Since 2009?
since 2009.
Had the most playoff wins since 2009.
Small playoff series
Of
wins.
any
yeah.
Canadian team.
Yeah, they're even. They did a list. I was listening on the radio today.
Most
They even out of teams, they out of all the teams, not just Canadian, they're up there. You know, except for all the big teams that won, like have 17, 18, 19 playoff wins. But Montreal is there more than all the other Canadian teams. So you know, so there have been teams that have been doing better throughout the seasons than them. Like Toronto's been having good seasons. You know, Edmonton, Calgary. You know,
well, it just changes gears in the playoffs. You know, they went to these get this fluke stuff sometimes. I don't know. Remember against
not that.
Vegas?
They understand that
but
they understand the administration that it takes a certain type of team to get through the playoffs. It's good and nice to win all the games in the beginning during the year, but you come to the playoffs and you lose 4 straight in the first round,
or get
What's the-
hot for 2 weeks, and you're like, oh yeah, cool. Our young studs are scoring hat tricks all of a sudden, but that consistency is not going to stay with a team like that. Not fully built.
And they're building a team now very, very well, Montreal.
I gotta hand it to them. They are
Like I've been reviewing the draft since the draft lottery ended. In Montreal, I have a feeling they're gonna get a really good player because out of the top 5 teams, Anaheim and Columbus guaranteed they're gonna go for a defenseman because they're already top heavy in forwards. I don't think they need more forwards. So
you're saying they're gonna go for that defenseman pick? And
look
get
at
those
chance they're
defensemen
gonna
back
get
then.
Demidov or they're gonna get Lindstrom. You know, Celebrini is going number 1. Then you have Chicago. It's a crapshoot. I'm pretty sure they're gonna go for a forward. Most likely they're gonna go Demidov. They have him and Berdard, the 1-2 tandem like they did with Taves and Kane.
Yep.
We'll have that again. I think that's what they're looking at. But I'm pretty sure the next 2 teams are gonna. I don't think Montreal has to trade down. And if they get what they want, I think they're because they have 2 first-round picks. They're gonna trade their second-round
Their
pick.
chips in their hand, don't they? Don't they
Yeah.
have,
Plus,
like,
they're gonna
picks?
Fire.
They're like,
it's amazing.
that's a good problem to have. When was the last time the Montreal
Oh, no,
Canadiens
no.
had this kind of problem? In their
Plus, they're gonna
hands?
try and pull off another trade like they did with when they picked up Kirby Doc. Trade a first rounder, trade a defenseman, a prospect, and go pick up another freaking bona fide player that can be ready. And you have players for a first line.
That is
You have players for a
that is
second
very
line,
good.
and you have enough players that can build a defense. All that's left after is eventually when you get good,
So
you go
many
get yourself a
chips.
goalie. But a goalie's not important right now because they're good at what they have now.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, because you keep
yeah,
building.
Sure.
So and you give time for your core.
To build
To grow,
and
exactly.
build that chemistry and just
And by the time, and then you have what's his name, Lane Hudson, who's gonna be
Oh
an
my.
offensive,
This guy's so good.
defensive, whatever. But he's
fun.
gonna be a
Exciting.
power play
Fun.
specialist,
exciting
right?
to watch.
Yeah, what the heck? You know, Montreal having such great talent. It's so much fun. It's nice to see. It's nice to see. We were like stuck in a zombie world, but you know, it was still entertaining, but not this type of.
It's because they
entertaining.
finally decided not to patch and.
They were putting band-aids for many, many, many years.
So,
Gainy and just
Not that we're a big market, but the last run they could have he built the team from the beginning for the playoffs. He barely got into the playoffs, but when he got into that playoffs, he had the team for it. That defense core was what got them through. That defense core and Carey Price is what got them through.
yeah.
You see a bit of the worlds.
I have been watching
Slovakia, hey, Mr.
Slavkovsky, man.
Guys, this guy, he's gonna be solid, hey man.
Yeah, I'm very impressed. He's evolving faster than I thought.
And everybody was.
What do you think, Bray?
shooting and
Everybody
shooting
shat on him,
shot.
and nobody thought he was going to produce as quickly as he would this young.
Yeah, I'm very happy with his progress.
Slavkovsky, he's evolving quicker than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, he's a big boy, right?
Yeah.
So, his presence on the ice is different than being a 5'7", 5'8" player
his confidence
where
is
you're limited
growing.
sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
He can, make himself space, man.
That confidence is growing in it. And, you know, when you have the body and you know the physique and the hands too, man. He's got some good hands, man.
Yeah.
Very.
Doc
very
is coming
interesting.
back next
Oh
year.
my
Doc is
love
6'1", 6'2"? if they get Lindstrom is it was he's 6'3", 6'3".
Yeah, he's pretty big boy. Huh?
He's big too. But Demidov is under 6 feet. He's like 5'9", 5'10".
Mm-hmm.
But he's more of a, a skill player. But if you get that like another big guy, man, you're looking at 2 solid lines.
Mm-hmm.
And then you don't have to have Caulfield on the first line. If you get have Caulfield on the second line.
Imagine having Caulfield on your second line. Now you're going
predict the draft pick. I wasn't concentrating on this.
I'm thinking they're gonna get Caden Lindstrom. That's my guess. Caden Lindstrom. So I watched. That's a good point, Pat. I watched the Sick podcast with Tony Manero, and sometimes he has these scouts, right? And he goes on a Stanley Cup winning team for Montreal to win. Caulfield is not your top line.
Well, yeah, because it gives you a message that if he's not on your top line, what do you have as a
exactly?
team?
So in order for them, he's got to be your second, your top
second.
Yeah. So which makes sense, and it's not taking away from him or in any way.
He's very talented for sure.
In order to, because look at teams that win the cup, you have multiple.
You don't have your top stars on
waves.
The line. It's always waves of people.
No, I mean you have a lot of depth. Like look at New York. They have Panarin. They have what is his name there?
Zibanejad.
He's amazing.
A lot of Montreal's always for the longest time. First line was always short guys.
Yeah.
Back in the Gallagher was the first line.
They had the size. They had the size issue. Koivu, I mean, they always had those small, but they had a lot of heart.
Yeah, but they always were small.
They were size was against them. But now, like I always say, it's like you need that depth. Because when a coach is out there and he's able to match up your team and you're playing this matchup game and he has his healthier players that are on and he's putting his third line and they got superstars on their third line and you got nothing, where your guys are tired and you're like, all I can put on is a line that's got nothing. That depth is not going to carry you in the playoffs. And when you see these third, I love watching playoff games where they finish 1-0, 2-0, and the goal scorers come from the fourth line or the third line. Those are those like game twos where you're like, that game two is going to mean a lot in this series if they win. Because that game, they didn't have their Connor McDavid that stepped up. It was like their third liner, their fourth liner, who's been there every game, producing. And then when it's his time,
it gives you wings, man. It gives you wings.
It gives you a win, and you need that depth, and it's so important.
I'm not like what they're doing now with the team, Montreal, like the management. They're doing fantastic, but there's a lot of credit has to also be given to the old management team, because the new management team that came in
picked up,
inherited a lot of good drafts and moves that the other management, that Bergevin administration did.
A lot of picks.
I like
Caulfield was done by them. The Suzuki trade was done fantastic
of course.
pickup that was. They traded Pacioretty for Tatar, and they included Suzuki as an addition.
That was a win.
And that was the win, not the Tatar. Tatar was a good attitude.
It was a way to get the contract. It was a way to get the signing done for the trade. And,
but look
honestly,
what they got.
look who won now in the long run.
Like the Hudson draft pick was Bergevin as well. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
It was Bergevin administration. Well, absolutely.
Probably,
yeah. Like there's a lot of good stuff that they left them to work with.
Of course.
Yeah.
He just screwed up with all this.
Even all those defensemen that they had. A lot of them was the.
Even Logan Mailloux was a good choice.
Huh?
Even Logan Mailloux was a good choice,
Yeah.
Through all that,
controversial, but it was
controversial, but it was a good choice. You know what? You didn't think the balls to do that.
They risk
because he knows
like they take risks.
Everybody
Some of them were
shitting on this guy.
They risked.
Remember he brought was it Radulov? Remember he brought Radulov?
Yeah.
That was a good move. Too bad we didn't keep him, but
not that we didn't keep him. He ended up signing with Dallas for the exact same amount. You as a player, if you can make the same amount of money,
tax rebate,
less taxes,
that's what kills Montreal.
The factor.
Come on, it's a fact.
It's crazy. It's just
and a better team.
People want to stay in Florida. That's why people want to stay
even
in
location,
Texas.
like Texas and location,
warmer climate,
less media on your back. Like
I don't
Montreal are huge cities where when things go good, man, it's you see the flags on people's cars and people are hot and heavy. But when things go bad,
It's heavy.
it's
also heavy.
Leafs got booed off the ice.
He's smart.
Like this is what happens in Canada. You can boo your own team off the ice easily because
He came back to the NHL, went to a high market team, Montreal, where we get the most visibility. He got his visibility. He showed that he can still play, and then he goes, now I can get to any team I want. I get the same money. I'll make the same money I'm making in Montreal, but I'm gonna go to somewhere where the climate is nicer, the environment is more suited to money.
put yourself in the spotlight.
It's a business, man. It makes sense.
You're right. Good way of looking at it.
Mhm.
Put yourself in the spotlight. You're like, here I am. I did what I had to do. Now, send me somewhere nice where I want to go.
Because he was in the KHL before.
Yep.
He had left from Atlanta.
exactly.
Went
he
to
left
KHL and
KHL,
then came
yeah.
back.
Yeah. What was the other guy from that played in the Thrashers?
Kovalchuk.
Kovalchuk.
Ilya
He did the same
Kovalchuk.
thing.
He went to KHL,
Yeah.
and then
He was
came
at
back
the
to
end of his career, though.
How old was he when he played for the Canadiens? Though he was.
Didn't play for anybody after.
He played for the Canadiens?
LA. He went to play for LA.
Yeah, he played.
He played for LA.
Canadiens. No, he
No,
played.
Canadiens.
Yeah, well,
Not the Canadiens.
Playoffs and then.
or after that.
Kovalchuk didn't play for the Canadiens.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
He did.
He
For
did,
1 year.
for
I
like
remember he
3
was
months.
playing with his kids on
yeah?
a ring. There's a
Yeah.
video of.
That's huge. Yeah,
There's a
right.
video out there of
And
him
he played
playing
pretty
hockey
well
with
with
us.
us. Man.
Yeah, he did play pretty well.
Kovalchuk, Kovalchuk, Radulov.
I remember he had to
We're very
give
friendly to Russians.
Even that American, the other guy
he
there.
gave a player his watch because the player
Oh yeah,
gave
yeah,
his
yeah.
number.
I forget who that
Gave
was.
Kovalchuk's number.
Who's that
Who was?
player from
Gave him a
used to play for
Rolex.
Buffalo?
Hey, thank you.
The
They ended up playing
defenseman.
for
what's
Montreal a
his
couple
name?
of seasons. Then
Right?
Defenseman.
Is it a defenseman? I don't
Yeah,
remember.
Yeah.
But yeah,
He's our the
Goodness.
seventh backup guy. I forget what his name is. The short guy.
American.
No, he's
Played for Buff.
Who was that player from Buffalo
Yes.
who ended up playing for Montreal for like 2 years?
that's
I don't remember his name right now. He's a European
and he
too.
went to Minnesota after, right?
Yeah.
Vanek.
Vanek, yeah. Thomas Vanek.
Yeah,
Very
Thomas
Vanek.
Vanek.
I was
Yeah.
gonna
That was a good
say,
pickup.
I
That was
don't
good.
know.
That was good. That was
He
Bergevin.
did nothing
That was
but
actually
show.
very good, Vanek. Vanek was
No good player.
Oh yeah.
He was good in
Yeah, he was in
Buffalo.
Buffalo. Well, he had been in Buffalo for 10+ years, I think.
Pretty much his whole career.
Career he was in.
That's another disaster of a team where you can't freaking figure out and put a team together when you have the talent there, man. What a disaster.
Yeah, well, that's why they're so close to each other. Buffalo and Toronto. They're both.
It's
There's-
management. It's management.
Something in the
Management,
water
don't
in the
fit
air
there
in that
is the
area.
I
problem.
don't know, man. They're so dumb.
It's so dumb.
What the heck?
So
They really do have a lot of talent. Buffalo.
wasted. It's sad.
They're cursed, man. I don't know what happened, but someone cursed them.
No, they have
It's impossible. All this
Berube, right?
talent.
They have the new coach now for Toronto. We'll see what he
New
does.
coach.
Berube.
Who?
Berube.
Where's he from?
He won the Stanley Cup with St. Louis.
Oh, okay.
Be a player.
Yeah.
And he was a coach.
He's a bit of a tough ass.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he's
He
Different
was
type of coach.
I don't know, man. I think you need more than a coach. Fuck. You need a witch doctor. You need an
need some
exorcist.
prayers, yeah, Bible.
I need an old priest, and a young priest.
you need a Jewish rabbi. You need a priest. You need a Hindu.
Let's make those goals a little bigger for them.
Yeah.
It's gonna need a prayer just to get themselves out of this. This is I thought a lot more people were gonna get affected by the management. Like, I thought this was the best year in my lifetime that I can remember Toronto having
Surprised Shanahan didn't.
the best year. I'm very surprised Shanahan didn't get disciplined for this. Like,
Well,
I
he
thought
said
he
it
was
at his
gonna,
press conference. It's on me. I want to see the next year if they don't do good. If he doesn't get freaking
like
fired.
the coach got fired. I don't think that was the guy. Not the only person. It's why
He
is it the
deserve it,
coach?
no, but yeah, that's what you do.
But someone's got to be a
Your
fall
team-
guy.
If your team can't make the playoff
He's the fall guy.
2-3 times in a row, like not even past the second round, yeah, and something has to be done. Fortunately, usually it's the coach.
And now he's in New Jersey. But
He is. He
Yeah.
got quickly.
coach?
He got
Head
signed
coach
head
as well?
coach. New
Yeah,
Jersey
head coach.
Devils. He just got signed. Yeah.
You know who's supposed to be the coach for Toronto before they hired, like, like the assistant coach that's there now is what's his name there? Boucher there. He used to be for Laval. Rockets. So he used to coach Ottawa, right? So now he's an assistant coach. He was supposed to be the coach, and then what's his name was Babcock got available, and all of a sudden he didn't get the job. Babcock got hired, and Babcock got fired, and then they hired Keldon Sheet, whatever, Keldon Keefe.
Sheldon Keefe.
But he would have been a good fit for Toronto.
Then Queef.
Keldon Keefe. Babcock.
Yeah, but when I look at Babcock, sorry, that's like poster boy of like a coach, hockey coach look like. Always found he looked.
Oh, Tortorella.
Tortorella?
Pat Burns. Scotty Bowman.
Babcock is very old school, but some of the stuff that came out on him, man, I'm like,
Yeah,
wow,
no, apparently
man.
he wasn't. Well, apparently he was a good, when he coached Team Canada.
He's an
I
ass.
mean,
He was
okay.
an asshole.
I could coach Team Canada.
Yeah, but you're like, guys, you're all superstars. Just go do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Just do what you do 365 days a year. Well, not 365 days a year, but do what you do half the year. Just do it.
It's like anybody can
It's
coach
the easiest job ever. Easiest job ever.
Really, like it's just a symbolic.
It's like Justin Bieber coaching the All-Star team this year, right? So you're like, yeah.
Talk
It's
about
like
Team
It's like
Canada.
Justin Bieber coaching the
Yeah.
the All-Star team this
The
year.
Euros
Didn't he?
starting this summer, huh?
Team Canada? Yeah.
No, the Euros.
The Euros, that's right.
Did you hear about RFK? What he did?
What do you do now?
I heard
What do
about
you do
his
now?
worms. He has worms in his head. Or he had
Oh,
worms.
I heard about that. They found he's got worms.
People were making fun like he has worms in his head, and then it comes out he actually
like
had a worm in his head
parasitic,
that died. Ate
parasitic
his brain, a bit of his
worms
brain,
and,
and died in
Oh,
his brain.
jeez.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he get a
So-
worm in his head.
I don't know
Some
if you guys
parasite
knew this, but the GME saga is like rekindling right now. I don't know if the GME stock thing there that
No.
happened. GME was a
GameStop.
Oh, you're
GameStop.
talking about the GameStop that happened. Yeah, the whole.
Yeah,
GameStop was
Invest like
you know,
$20,000 or something.
Who did?
That's what he did.
RFK, you mean?
Yeah, RFK.
Yeah, well, RFK is like, if you want to really, give a thrashing to Wall Street and this world, the corrupt world of capitalism, buy stocks with me and we'll break down the system.
So they wanted to short.
So do you want to
another
short?
stock.
You want to short a stock?
You want to
or-
no, you buy the stock market,
Okay.
buy the GME stock. So yeah, he's going haywire on that.
What does he want? He wants to.
Just wants to herd the capitalist world.
That's over the GameStop.
No, it's
Shorting?
actually that's what I'm saying.
Rekindling right now.
It's
Yeah.
resurfaced again during the news again.
Yeah, there's actually
They tried. They
Roaring
tried
Kitty?
shorting it, and then they're shorting the shorting, or like they're going.
Most people are short GME. Okay, so they
What's
want the
GME?
stock. GME is
GameStop.
GameStop. So they want the stock to go down.
They
okay?
want GameStop to
Because
fail.
They think that they think it's
It's
not a good stock.
overvalued.
It's the company is not worth whatever,
But it's value.
and so big money is there. So the value of the amount of short interest at the stock very heavy. So whoever is shorting it that heavy, actually, it can actually like really hurt the company, and it can drive
Because
it
it
down very
fluctuates
fast.
so much.
Value of the stock it doesn't make sense. You're selling video games, like.
But
it's-
at the end of the day,
everything
it's
is
like-
digital nowadays.
Right,
What do you
exactly.
have, as a real. You don't
Well, I
have
think
it.
the whole idea was it was joke, right? It was almost
Of
like
course.
let's take this as an example and
Yeah.
see what we can do with it.
Yeah, so that's
Can
what
I
they
ask you
want
a
to.
question?
Yes, yeah, go ahead.
Is the whole reason why this GameStop keeps going is because of that original short that they tried to do, and it backfired, and now the GameStop has become so
No,
big
because
of it?
GameStop was failing company.
Yes,
It was a failing company,
100%.
and it was
It's like the blockbuster.
they
of-
did the right decision. These hedge funds to
Yeah.
short it
yeah,
because GameStop is a cultural. It's a fan. They have a lot of fans. They have a lot of customers. People love GameStop as gamers and stuff like that. They want to give it.
power of the internet.
Yes.
That's
It's
what it
the
is.
power of like a
To give it back to
Roaring Kitty. There was like all these like personalities are involved here. Like that. People are watching. They're on Reddit. They're on
There's
Twitter.
always shortages. This one was special because people had that was different for GameStop. Had
affection to it.
for GameStop. They
Sure.
want GameStop to fail, and they want to screw over these big
Yeah.
guys in the middle. So
Citra-
it's different.
Give it
Control
to-
shortages, right? You can always research this.
Yeah, shorts happen. Yeah.
Exactly. But
Yeah,
this,
one of my favorites. I have two publicly traded companies that I'm very invested in, and they're super short. Okay, like people are top 10. Okay, one of them is top 10 out of the whole market for interest on the company. So now, if they produce something that's super smart, my battery company, Enovix, dude, that stock actually produce. It's gonna skyrocket because all the people that are short, they're gonna release all that energy pretty much. They have to go buy back the shares right after. So what happens?
Then the
stock's
stock
gonna go
just
to,
rises
it goes
because
now
of
it's
that.
at. By the way, it's happening right now. If you ask me, okay.
So if there's a company that's short and you
I-
believe in it, it's good to invest in.
Well, if it's a good company, if it's actually
usually when they're shorting, it's because people
yeah,
are assuming that it's gonna fail.
because they have no revenues yet, and then all they need is that one product off, and then all of a sudden, right now the stock is at $10, it can go to $50. So, that's very powerful, and it's the same thing as GameStop, but on the actual product is not there though. That's the thing. It's just sentiment, like you're saying, that people are in love with it. Anyways, it's interesting that RFK now is involved with it. It's so stupid.
He's pulling
Whatever. He's
branches
just
to get a buzz around him. That's what he's doing.
and he's making a mockery out of himself. Like all the people that were serious in the actual funding him, let's say for capitalists, like people that are on Wall Street. Like, okay,
They're thinking he's
over.
losing it. Yeah, he's showing
Well, it's
signs of
gone.
like.
Good wacko.
yeah.
Have you seen this Joe Rogan interview with that actor?
Dude, yeah, Terrence Howard.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
This is wild, guys. You have
This
to
guy
really,
sounds
really watch
smart.
this.
Like for
It's
for
word
like
salad.
the
It's
first
he's
10
saying-
minutes-
saying fancy words to act smart, but he's
he was convincing me though that I felt
for a guy
stupid.
who doesn't know. Yes, you could sound convincing.
Oh
but,
my
but that is very manipulative.
It's the actor
So wild.
Terrence Howard,
That
right?
was so wild.
The first 10 minutes, I was like, I'm an idiot.
He thinks
Is this guy
he thinks
smarter
he's
than
a
me?
scientific mathematical genius, and he's explaining how the universe works and how gravity
Periodic
works and
table.
how planet works. And
Periodic
He
table.
says that if
like,
he had the chance, he could have done something to manifest the world
This
and
was
take
recently?
over because
Yeah,
of
it was
his intellectual
Bro,
knowledge
he's
of the
claiming
things that he knows.
He solved like math things that are unsolvable. He's claiming he solved them. And he's like,
It's
like,
I love it.
if he put his full power at 100%, he would
must have,
take.
I didn't see the whole interview.
He
but
knows
Joe
how to time
Rogan
travel
must
now.
have been
It's,
like, what the fuck? Who booked this guy?
Mm-mm.
He wasn't engaged, Rogan.
He was. Rogan's. You have to. One thing you have to give Rogan. He's a great conversational.
Sure.
Even if I don't agree with everything he does, but
He has his opinions, but he's
There's a-
very open.
normally normally his
to-
opinions side with mine. Normally, maybe not so much in politics, but
He's a
everything
liberal
else.
guy. He's
He's a great
He's-
conversationalist,
yeah,
and I like that he's not really an interviewer. He's more like part of the conversation.
yeah.
I like a lot. Usually, it's interviews just asking questions. He does ask questions, but carries
He
the
has a
conversation as well. But so he was engaged. He was engaging in what he was asking him. Oh, really? Yeah, it does that? Like he wasn't like.
well, because he's not going to shut him down. He's got to let him talk. He's got to this guy is on his platform trying
Joe
to.
Rogan does shut you down if
If
he
you're
thinks
wrong,
you're
if you're wrong, if you're
He didn't- I
spewing
don't think he
like
sh-
misinformation,
And if
or-
you think you're bullshitting, yeah.
yeah,
I think Joe Rogan thought like this guy's bipolar or something. He's not gonna call him out,
Embarrass him.
Yeah, he's not gonna embarrass him because I think that's what he is. He's kind of like this.
Yeah.
But what makes you say that he's that? The way he was
Oh,
projecting
you have
himself.
to
But
watch this.
Dude, he thought he was like
He
a
was,
math god, like a math like.
what was the whole reason to bring him on to begin with? Usually when he brings
he's
up,
an actor. He's a famous actor.
oh, he's an actor.
he's
Yeah.
the actor
Terrence
in
Howard.
Crash.
He was the first Iron Man.
He was in Crash. He was
Or
in
Hustle
Iron
and Flow.
Man.
You watched
he
the movie
was,
Hustle and
He was
Flow?
in the first Iron Man.
Then Don Cheadle replaced him.
Oh, okay.
First one was him, and then Don Cheadle replaced him for the rest of.
Pull it up. Can you get an image search of, just to show him what his face?
Yeah, no,
looks
he is. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure once you see his face.
He's a good actor.
But
You're very good at
He's
it.
a-
he just
a very
seemed
good
like
actor.
he was the next coming of God or something.
I
I,
know,
was
I know.
like,
I know he is. Yeah.
but actually, let's watch a clip.
but I totally did not expect what I saw.
Top.
Like,
What is it? What does it say? The third on top. There's top
what-
chemist on Terrence Howard.
He was in,
This guy. He's a world-renowned chemist. You didn't know?
he was in the movie. He was in that HBO show.
Empire and stuff.
He's a very good actor.
Is it him?
I think that there was one where he was
Nah,
like,
they're just joking now.
It's just joking, yeah.
Into the
Oh, here we go.
oh yeah, he's making fun of him.
Not him.
But there's one where he's telling
Oh.
Joe, and he's
This
like,
is
Joe,
13 hour-
if only I unleashed all the knowledge that I did on mankind, I would be able to change and overcome. I was like, what are you, the next coming of
Russell's work?
I think something's uncalibrated there, you know. Get to this level here. Man, you saw in the periodic table, breaking it all
how
down.
he should break it down, and
So
like
crazy.
I
He
saw
claimed
this.
he remembered everything in his mother's womb when he was born.
Yeah,
he remembered
right,
being
yeah,
born.
Yeah.
You remembered like, and they start saying like,
I did it with
knew
my kid because I
knew my
proved
son
it.
because I was flashing lights in the stomach, and when he came out, he was obsessed with lights. So I guess
It's
like,
so
he was saying
dumb.
like
Yeah.
crazy things.
Like,
It's really.
So that was one of the first things. But when Walter Russell came,
It's a nice jacket though. On.
with
Want that?
probability, that's the problem with
Jacket.
Heisenberg uncertainty. That's the problem. Probabilities because they had taken the ether out. They forgot the electromagnetic
But he's dissing like famous like.
medium in which it followed on. It had to have something in which it was
A bunch of
moving
fancy words. I legit
That's what you call word salad. You just throw fancy words out there, and it looks like you know what you're talking.
word salad is called.
Never either called
Really, I never.
Just throw in big fancy words, and people don't know. Like, oh, this guy knows what he's talking about.
It sounds
Big
manipulative
scientific-
though. What you're doing, because like you're trying to like impress me with your fancy words, but nothing makes sense.
That's what people like flat earthers do, or like all
Back
these
to
like
Neil deGrasse.
vaxxers. Like,
When he wrote his response to my paper, and he said, if you have any other questions, you're going to have to see somebody else, and he wouldn't take my calls anymore. I was like, okay,
he
so I
sounds
wrote.
like somebody who just researches everything and then makes it his own. Sounds like he's intelligent, but he's like,
well, it's like Trey went down a deep dive of YouTube videos of conspiracy theories and pseudoscience and stuff like that. Then he came up with his own theories, and that's what he did. I recommend you like just maybe highlight clips.
Yeah.
Look, Terrence Howard is legitimately insane. Like, he's been getting all he's been getting massive making fun of him. Anyways.
Yeah,
bring
of
that
course,
up.
this is intense, man. What a crazy video, honestly. That was
And then he's
amazing.
like bragging like, oh, I never went to a fancy school. Like,
Yeah, you were homeschooled.
Definitely sure.
Homeschooling does.
But then, like, that's not, I think he's suffering from normal thinking. Like, what he was talking about is just really like, what's it called? Kruger syndrome or something like that. It's like,
Believe.
you believe of something, the less
you
you
think
know,
that,
something like that.
because of the way he was talking and he was brought in because he's an actor, you think he caught Rogan off guard the way he ended up
It's not the first time he's well, from what I learned, I didn't really know he was like this, but I watched other people talk about him. He went to like Oxford, he did a talk there, and people were laughing. He's claiming that one times one is two. He wrote a whole
That's right.
paper trying to prove
There's no such thing as zero. by the way.
just like crazy ideas, like 1 × 1 is 2. And he wrote a paper and he was showing it to the school, to the students, like a real presentation. And ideas like that. He said he solved like a mystery equation 10,000 years old. I forgot what the name of it was, but he said he solved it.
Yeah.
And it's just really
Alone.
so. I think
1 × 1 is
that's
2.
mental. I think it's a bit of mental illness. It's a bit of Kanye West ism, whatever.
Yeah. There's a lot of those out there, actually.
Right now.
It's okay. Listen, just I'm amazed that Joe
Why?
had
Fine.
this on his platform.
But that's what I was trying to say. Did Joe know that he was like this, or he just got him on
Because it's still on there.
he's a phenomenal actor. Get him in,
Yeah.
he's a great actor.
Boardwalk. I think the Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah, Boardwalk.
Was he there? Yeah.
He's was this recently?
This was 6 days ago. Uploaded 6 days.
Crazy.
7 million views.
Guys, what do you think of the
No.
the assassination? I think it's an assassination, but the death of the Syrian president there.
Iran.
Iranian. They were getting involved in the war, right? So Iran. So
timing is very interesting.
Yeah,
That's all I
very,
gotta
very
say.
Very interesting. Very interesting. I watched a few guys that said their comments on this. Military. They've been in the military and stuff. I brought it up before. They were saying it's very unusual that he took a helicopter.
Very unusual that he took a helicopter.
Well, not that he took a helicopter. He took a helicopter unescorted, like the head of the country. You don't. There's no like other helicopter next to him. There's no like escort, like another jet or a plane.
Something like that.
Huh?
Would he do something?
I don't know why he would do that, but usually people head of state, they usually have a whole like entourage when you're traveling, right? Just one helicopter, one long helicopter. And so that was sketch.
Probably a silly, stupid mistake.
You think so?
Yeah.
You think it comes down to just
I
being
think
as silly
it
as
was
like,
an inauguration, from what I understand, of a ceremony, and they really took it way too lightly.
Somebody must have took advantage of the opportunity, or they set it up for him to travel out, and they took.
Your personnel, your security personnel should be on top of the game. It should be like, that's their job.
I find a sketch that all this is going on and he dies.
Trust me, at the end of the day, if there's something that needs to happen, it's going to happen.
That's true. If something
Iran,
the question is, done it. If someone did it,
of course.
So Israel, states, a group effort.
Listen, Iranian people.
Is it Iranians that are against the Iran government?
Okay, I'll tell you that much. Most.
The next guy's gonna be the exact same shit.
Well, yeah. The number 2 is. Did you know that this guy was called Butcher, the president? Did you know? He was called the Butcher.
No.
This guy in the no, but it's not
a good piece of meat.
The reason why he was called the Butcher.
He makes good halal, man.
Good halal.
During the revolution,
yeah,
you would get a group of people, whoever was against the government and the regime, chop their head off.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah. Hangings and chop.
Right, like if you're gay, off the
sure
anything.
Yeah.
Amazing, Iran always wasn't like that. Till like the 70s.
Yeah.
It was like a pretty
the
modern.
Shah was in back.
It was a pretty modern.
No, if you see the amazing stuff, man,
beautiful.
It was gorgeous.
It was beautiful.
That big revolution in the 70s. Was it the 70s?
Yeah, for sure.
And then it became they went backwards. They went civilization wise. They went backwards in the sense.
I don't know if you ever watched that. There was interview with Patrick Davis there, and David, the prince of, he's officially the king of Iran, but he's exiled. Exactly. Well, he did an interview with him, and of course, there's a lot of blame.
The one that was against, he's speaking out.
Well, no, Patrick was asking him if there was ever an opportunity to become the king again, would you do it? He's not gonna say yes. He's a bit scared of it, but he's not saying no either. But the long story is that his father, it was very, very mixed up with the CIA, and there's a lot of
the prince. This is the prince I was talking.
Yeah, the princess is talking. Like, his father, the king, was really involved with the CIA. They a lot of the reason why the revolution happened in the States. And,
because he was he was an American puppet.
And still to this day, what was it saying? Iran and Israel are behind the scene are actually
very what?
Really?
Yeah.
Very what?
They're good friends, So.
And just for show, they act like enemies.
Yeah, for the people, of course. They just, it's for the people to make, they need a boogeyman. Okay,
so they have to
in
present
Israel
this image of like who the boogeyman is.
Israel is the boogeyman to the population. Like my partner, he was always trained as a kid that Israel is the enemy, but now he's like Jewish population. He says no, I'd rather defend. And even his one of his good friends, he's a gay man, and he's on social media. I don't know. This guy could disappear one day. I don't know, because he's really.
Who's this, the prince?
No, he's just a friend of my partner.
Oh, okay.
Montreal. I could disappear one day.
He could disappear any second because of.
Don't not to take any helicopters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's weird out there, man. But I'm going to say that he's talking shit about his own government in Iran, and he's really for Israel, even for Palestine, Israel.
That's why you're saying you can disappear because.
Well, yeah, he's talking a lot, and pretty profane the way he's talking about it. When the president died last week, he was sipping champagne on social media, you know, and like, you know, people are like,
that's a bit dark.
Of course, it's dark, but
that's a bit like,
you know, there's fireworks in that day too in Iran, but
someone's celebrating.
That's what I mentioned before. It could be a state, it could be Israel, it could be Iran itself. Like, it could be that they pulled that off.
Right. just
yeah, he was toasting to his death. Oh, he's the butcher, man. He killed freaking, you know, thousands.
I don't know. I don't know. He was like,
I don't know.
If you look online, you'll see that named the butcher in the 70s.
You made it big.
Name Abdullah.
Abdullah the butcher.
New York was the butcher.
True, that's right. He was a butcher too.
He actually was a butcher.
Literally.
I think he was like, "Hey, I need some chicken thighs.
Slicing meat.
Chicken thighs tonight."
Give him a packet of meat. Say hi to the wife.
Say hi to the wife.
Yeah, say hi to the wife. That's it. You don't need that for your eye tonight.
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
But who's saying that Russia did a?
Well, I was it yesterday or this morning? I was reading the news and there was an article. I didn't have time to read. I was getting ready for work. Putin asked for a ceasefire for something. Yeah.
But if he
What's
did,
the reason behind that?
What's happening? American F-16s, American M1A1 Abrams tanks.
They're coming in.
They're coming in. Coming in within the month. That's a whole new game. Plus, they're getting funded now because the states finally passed the bill to give like $65 billion. Now other countries, you hear it every day. A new country is donating this, donating.
Right. They can jump in and just donate.
Because before, everyone was just waiting what the states are going to do. Like,
what's going to happen?
Once the state committed again another injection, everyone's coming out. Everyone's giving tanks. Everyone's giving drones, anti-defense ammunition. And Putin just, during this whole time, he was trying to push because Ukraine was really like on their feet. Like they ran out of artillery. They ran out of, they're even running out of men, running out of ammunition. Yeah. And they're trying to push, and Russia has been gaining ground, but they paid a heavy price. They didn't. It wasn't easy. They were getting like 600 meters a day or something crazy, like as a meat grinder. So now they're getting all this infusion of high-end artillery again, and I don't know if it's true, but if he calls it makes a lot of sense.
How's he going to react?
Well, look, he's pretty much purging all the generals. I don't know. He arrested all his generals.
Russian military officials are being arrested.
Yeah, just arrested. Yeah, he's
arresting all his generals.
So that's not usually a good sign.
It's a mutiny, man.
Yeah.
I think it's a mutiny. I think he's just fucking. He's trying to make it look like they're the reason they're losing. I think it's all show. It's not my fault. It's generals. They suck, man. They're corrupt.
Someone's got to.
They're losing because they're corrupt and they're stealing money from our army. And
this week I hear a lot on the finance world. They don't want to go to war. Put it that way. Okay.
I don't believe it.
I don't believe that.
I don't believe that.
Well, this is.
Why do you build an army? Why do you build up in the last 5 years build an army, build aircraft carriers, develop the biggest navy in the world, and then say, "No, we don't want to go to war."
Listen, this is the narrative though that I'm hearing. Okay, I don't know what's really going behind. I know this is that they're becoming much more self-sufficient as an economy on their own, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
They have you know, it's not. They're not doing little trinkets and little T-shirts anymore. They got technology. They got the best now. Okay, they got the best. I'm telling you, they got the best EVs. They got the best EVs right now. The cheapest on the market for $15,000 to $20,000. You can get a car that runs better than Tesla nowadays. And
Tesla, I don't consider them the best.
For us in North America, that's the best. Okay,
leading
for EV, it's the top.
For EV.
Yeah,
yeah.
Doesn't mean they're the best vehicle.
No, of course not. But right now, and it's less expensive, and they're finding ways to, you know, less production, not like less consumption of copper and all these rare earth metals that they need,
lithium and
cobalt, whatever. They're cutting it by half. So they're becoming more efficient. They're smart. They're getting there. Like they're finding ways to either recycle or use it properly.
Well, China was never good at innovation. I guess now, with 30 years of producing other people's stuff, I guess now they...
What do? Brian, you know that. They get the best come in, brought Elon to come in, they use their technology, and they okay, ciao.
Technology, yeah.
And then they go, they get their freaking guys, and they freaking,
take off with that.
I still wouldn't say they have the best stuff.
I just listened to a very...
Military-wise, they don't have...
Quality, you mean?
Huh? They're having a lot of... They're having... Their submarines are disappearing. They're trying to disappeared just about a month ago. One of their top-notch submarines just disappeared. They don't know what happened to it. It just sunk. They're building aircraft carriers. They're trying to do like the Americans. The police. The rope, the wire system that pulls you, always breaking. They're trying. The quality is not there. Quality is not there. They did a stealth. They did the J-20, the new stealth plane that it's supposed to be like the best plane in the world. It's showcased as like the cutting edge, but
they
will catch up eventually. Yes,
dude.
But right now, it's not the best.
Energy, right? Remember, the energy. This is what propels economies. This is what gets us to the next level, right? They are working on thorium reactors. Us, we're already like nuclear reactors, already a big thing. It's starting to like get back in vogue.
It's coming back.
Dude, I've been a big proponent of uranium for a long time and from nuclear energy. These guys are already working on thorium reactors. Thorium is actually like, it's much harder to, much easier to work with than uranium. Much easier, and it's much more accessible. It's like silver in the ground.
Uranium becomes plutonium?
Yes.
Okay, that's what it is.
It does, yeah. To cool down, it's much easier to cool down. They actually have reactors that are in the desert. Like a nuclear reactor in the desert, impossible, because you need water to cool it down. Exactly.
You need to cool your rods down.
They're cooling it down with salt, molten salt. That's how they're doing it.
Well, that's how you make ice cream.
Exactly. Yeah. So, anyways, they're working on the next wave energy. It's like oil was the big 1900s. Right. Thorium will be our next, because
what's
it's
the
much
resources on it? Like or do we have unlimited supply or like
as much as you want?
Like I said about oil,
thorium is not used much at all.
That's what it's called, the mineral thorium.
Thorium, yeah, and thorium is as accessible as silver is in the ground. So, and do you know what it takes to? They said that there's I forget the company now it's in processing in Copenhagen, I think. So they're also doing reactors in Copenhagen. They're trying to like compete with for they're doing like a reactor. They'll do multiple, like thousands of these, okay, eventually. And one of these can actually, with a very small amount of thorium, light it up.
What does it produce?
Just light it up.
That's what I'm curious to know.
Yeah.
What a container size nuclear reactor can produce, because if that would be interesting. You can do something. You can put these in little towns, trying to open up a grid now.
I wish I could invest in this company. but you can't. It's big guys,
Gotta be Chinese.
No, you gotta have like but and like the people that I hear about, this is like a passion project. So, but
How far are we from that?
10 to 20 years.
Heard of nuclear, not fusion, nuclear fission?
Vision, yeah.
Like new, it's supposed to be like
sure.
Well, future.
I don't know the exact.
I don't know exactly. I don't know
either.
It was a breakthrough. Maybe like last year it was a breakthrough nuclear fission.
But this is thorium too. Is a nuclear fission. It's a fusion and fission, whatever it may be. But
apparently it's two different things. I know that it's fusion and fission is two different things. But
the idea is it's nuclear. So thorium is.
It's a reaction of a mineral.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, a site I can share for you guys.
Yeah, we're gonna close it. We're gonna end the.
Yeah. Sheesh, man. Oh, yeah, you know what? I'll show it to you guys next time.
Very, very.
Crazy with Mac.
Yeah, of course.
But it's always something that can destroy the world. Everything we destroy, it's to destroy the world.
Like it wasn't a caterpillar that man, but man, this is the wrong hat. Super dangerous.
Always been there. In the galaxies were created and stuff. Nuclear, it's all atoms.
It wasn't man-made. It was the natural process.
Yeah, it was naturally done. That's why we got the idea of splitting atoms. It's a natural thing.
It's not brand new.
It's something that happened. That's Big Bang happened. The explosion. That's what happens when stars explode or.
Lighter, right?
Yeah.
How
the galaxy works.
Yeah, I got you this link
How
here.
you could just like create a machine. A higher rate of speed. We are there. Like we are trying to create mini suns.
Mini galaxies.
We are create this. We're just like
we always say like we took part of
I'm always
like 12 smart people did it, but like mankind, yeah.
Don't you watch hockey games and you're like, yep, my team won tonight.
My team won. We won the champions.
We won the game.
We won the cup, baby. We won.
Sat on the couch and we did this.
But when they lose, that's stinky team.
That's I want no part of that.
Garbage team.
Yes, Steve, go.
So this is the link that this is the podcast that I listened to. It was Mac Voices, and Eric Townsend is the host, and he's interviewing.
Is he a singer of the Who?
Maybe Patrick. No. His name is Jam Pedersen, and he's the founder of Copenhagen Atomic. And what does it say? It says they will discuss the role of thorium fission. Will play in the energy. Yes, will play in the energy transition and the benefits of molten salt-cooled, liquid-fueled thorium-burning nuclear reactors over conventional light water reactors. That's what we have, water reactors. So it's really crazy. And he says that 10 to 15 years away, having his actual the containers. Literally just the size of a container.
Big.
And they're saying that, like you put it in, nobody to for the next 5 years. For maintenance. Next time you have to touch it.
5 years.
5 years.
And does it cause like
how powerful is that?
Waste or stuff? Is less or worse?
It's much less. Because it's thorium is not like it's a different power scale of strength. Creates a very good fission. I guess. Where it is.
That's
Pat, pull my finger. I'll show you energy.
oh boy.
Safe energy, though. Safe
We need a
energy.
fake hand.
I know it's
very dangerous.
methane in
Very.
here. Something that will do good for the planet.
We just need one match.
Anyways,
All right, guys. I think that's it for the
Alright, that was fun,
episode.
guys.
Yeah.
We can catch an episode. I mean, period.
Period.
the hockey game.
Yeah.
That's true. Fuck. Totally
Game.
forgot about that.
All right. Until next time,
So,
boys and girls.
Thanks for
ladies and
listening.
gentlemen.
I'm glad you enjoyed our conversation. Well, hopefully you enjoyed our conversation, and we welcome you back to our next episode. Till next time.
Don't forget to subscribe and leave comments at the bottom.
At one person that watches this video, give us a
Don't forget
thumbs
to
up.
pull-
Ciao.